The year was 2008. On a winter's night in Paris, two friends, Travis Kalanick and Garrett Camp, stood shivering on the curb, frustrated as they waited for a taxi that seemed like it would never arrive. Little did they know this moment of inconvenience would spark an idea that would revolutionize modern transportation forever. This is the story of Uber, a company born from frustration, fueled by relentless ambition, and mired in controversy at every turn. My name is Daniel, and I dive into the playbooks that built the world's greatest companies and show you how you can apply the lessons as a business owner. This video is brought to you by Blaze, the best all-in-one AI marketing tool. More at blaze.ai. Before Uber, there were other entrepreneurial ventures that shaped Travis Kalanick's journey. Travis Kalanick faced relentless bullying when he was young and often threw himself into his work as an escape. As a teenager, he sold kitchen knives in his local neighborhood, cold calling door to door, honing his natural sales skills. Before starting Uber, Travis had dropped out of college to work on another entrepreneurial venture called Scour, a peer-to-peer search engine for files that was a little like Napster, and just like Napster, it got sued into oblivion. Scour faced a $250 billion lawsuit for copyright infringements, forcing the company into bankruptcy. This experience left Travis bitter and determined to turn the tables. Travis went on to start what he called a revenge business named Red Swoosh. The idea was the same, peer-to-peer technology, but this time he turned the 33 litigants who had sued him into customers. "Now those dudes who sue me are paying me," he would say with a sense of vindication. Travis eventually sold Red Swoosh for millions of dollars, giving him the financial foundation to embark on an even bigger project, Uber. Back to that cold night in Paris, Travis and Garrett had become increasingly frustrated with taxi companies and figured there had to be a better alternative. It was actually during a James Bond movie that the idea for Uber came to them. In one scene, Bond tracked the car across a map using his phone. This scene inspired the basis for their new app, originally called Uber Cab. In 2010, Uber Cab launched publicly in San Francisco, aiming to solve the problems of a traditional taxi experience. The solution was simple but revolutionary. First of all, convenience. Order a ride with the touch of a button on your phone rather than calling someone. It was also incredibly transparent. You could watch the car's journey on a map so you knew it was on its way and how long it would take. It was also luxurious. You could ride in a luxury black car with leather interiors completed with chilled bottles of water in the back. And the seamless payment. The ride would be automatically charged to your card, eliminating the need to mess with change or a tip. Originally, Uber was a luxury black cab and limousine service designed to give you a small taste of the James Bond experience. Quickly getting an Uber became a status symbol in the wealthy San Francisco area. But this great start for the company soon hit a major roadblock. On October 20th, the transportation agency showed up at Uber's offices and informed them that what they were doing was against the law. Despite all of Uber's drivers being licensed professional drivers registered with local transportation offices, there were strict rules about running a taxi business, and Uber was breaking them. One element of this was that Uber didn't actually own the cars themselves. They were getting professional drivers to use their own cars. This saved Uber huge amounts of money, but created legal issues. The local authorities told them that for every day Uber Cab was in operation, the company faced fines of up to $5,000 per trip. And not just that, but the Uber team could face up to 90 days in jail for each day the company remained operational. The small Uber team was both devastated and terrified. One of them nervously asked, "What do we do?" But one man wasn't worried. Travis Kalanick, Uber's co-founder and CEO, told the office confidently, "We do nothing. We ignore it." He went on to say that they'd simply drop the cab part of their name and just be known as Uber. He announced, "We're not a taxi company, we're a technology company. So these rules and regulations don't apply." This rebranding was more than a name change. It was a strategic maneuver to position Uber as a tech innovator rather than a traditional transportation service. By labeling themselves as a technology company, Uber aimed to circumvent the existing regulatory framework designed for taxis. This approach was controversial but emblematic of Travis's audacious problem-solving style. However, simply changing their name wasn't enough to keep the regulators at bay. Uber needed to rapidly grow its user base to make itself indispensable to the public. Travis knew that the widespread public support could become a powerful tool against regulatory pushback. Uber struck a deal with AT&T to buy thousands of iPhones in bulk at a discounted price. These phones were distributed to drivers, pre-programmed with Uber's software. To incentivize drivers, Uber offered a cash bonus for completing a certain number of trips per week. On the rider's side, Uber implemented an aggressive promotional strategy. They offered the first trip free and the second and third at a significant discount. This was an expensive strategy, with Uber losing money on every ride, but it worked. People loved the convenience and luxury, and many started using Uber exclusively. This rapid user adoption helped Uber expand to other cities using the same strategy of generous promotions and referral bonuses. By the time local authorities in these new markets started questioning Uber's legality, the company already had a loyal and vocal user base. Whenever local authorities threatened to shut them down, Uber leveraged their app's user base. They sent out alerts encouraging users to sign petitions or email their local representatives, expressing their support for Uber. In some cases, Uber even organized protests outside city halls, rallying users to come and make their voices heard. Travis believed Uber was on the right side of history. He often spoke about the corruption and cronyism within the taxi industry, where he alleged that corrupt taxi cartels paid off politicians to maintain their monopolies. In his view, asking for permission upfront was a losing strategy. Instead, Uber pushed forward, believing their service was better for both riders and drivers. One of Uber's most controversial tactics involved the use of Grayball software, a tool designed to evade regulators. Travis Kalanick and his team knew that authorities would download the Uber app themselves to monitor the service. Grayball helped Uber detect when government officials were using the app and effectively block them from seeing real data. This tactic allowed Uber to operate under the radar, expanding its services without interference from local authorities. The effectiveness of Grayball was evident in the numerous stories of regulators attempting to catch Uber drivers in the act, only to find no cars available. As Uber expanded, it faced competition from other ride-sharing services, most notably Lyft. Lyft, founded in 2012, offered a similar service and quickly became a significant rival. Uber went to great lengths to undermine Lyft, including creating fake accounts to track Lyft drivers and even poaching drivers by offering them incentives to switch platforms. Uber's competitive tactics extended to disrupting Lyft's marketing efforts by crashing their driver recruitment events and handing out Uber promotion codes. Travis Kalanick's ability to attract investment was crucial to Uber's expansion. He had a talent for dazzling investors and getting them excited about Uber's potential. He often painted a vision of Uber not just as a transportation company, but as a logistics giant capable of delivering any product anywhere, positioning Uber as a potential rival to Amazon. Uber secured substantial investments, including a significant $258 million from Google Ventures. This influx of capital allowed Uber to outspend its competitors on marketing, driver incentives, and technological development, solidifying its market position. Travis Kalanick's leadership style was characterized by a relentless drive to succeed, which permeated Uber's corporate culture. Kalanick fostered an environment that valued aggression, competition, and rapid decision-making. This approach helped Uber expand quickly, but it also created a cutthroat atmosphere that often disregarded ethical considerations. Kalanick's management mantra was clear: move fast, break things, and ask for forgiveness later. He divided Uber's operation into small autonomous teams, each tasked with conquering different markets. This decentralized approach allowed for swift action, but also led to internal conflicts and a lack of cohesive governance. Employees were encouraged to think of themselves as warriors in a battle against entrenched taxi monopolies, fueling a culture of us versus them. Despite its outward success, Uber's internal culture was riddled with problems. Allegations of a toxic work environment and systematic sexual harassment began to surface. The most damaging account came from former engineer Susan Fowler, who published a detailed blog post in February 2017. Fowler described the workplace rife with sexism and harassment. She recounted how her manager had propositioned her on her first day, and when she reported the incident to HR, she was told it was his first offense and that he was a high performer. Fowler later discovered that his manager had a history of such behavior, but Uber had consistently ignored the complaints against him. Fowler's revelations opened the floodgates, and numerous other employees came forward with their own stories of misconduct. These accounts revealed a pattern of harassment, discrimination, and retaliation against those who spoke out, indicating systematic issues within the company. Susan Fowler's blog post was a catalyst for change. It prompted Uber to commission an independent investigation led by former U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder. The investigation resulted in a comprehensive report that confirmed the widespread issues within Uber's culture. The Holder report made several recommendations, including changes in leadership, improvements in HR practices, and increased oversight. In the wake of the Holder report, Kalanick announced he would take a leave of absence to work on himself and grieve the loss of his mother, who had recently died in a boating accident. However, the pressure from investors and the board continued to mount. Major shareholders, including Benchmark Capital, pushed for Kalanick's resignation, arguing that the company needed new leadership to move past its scandals. In June 2017, Travis Kalanick resigned as CEO, marking the end of an era at Uber. Dara Khosrowshahi, previously the CEO of Expedia, took the helm at Uber with a clear mandate to clean up the company's image and steer it towards a more ethical and sustainable future. Khosrowshahi brought a different leadership style to Uber, emphasizing transparency, accountability, and a commitment to improving company culture. Under Khosrowshahi's leadership, Uber made several high-profile efforts to repair its reputation. This included settling various lawsuits, improving driver benefits, and enhancing passenger safety features. The company introduced features such as a 24/7 support hotline, in-app emergency assistance, and a stricter background check for drivers. Khosrowshahi also prioritized regulatory compliance, working more closely with city governments and transportation authorities to ensure Uber's operation were lawful and transparent. This was a significant shift from the confrontational stance Uber had previously taken. In May of 2019, Uber went public with one of the most anticipated initial public offerings in recent history. However, the IPO did not go as smoothly as planned. On its first day of trading, Uber's stock price dropped, making it the largest first-day dollar loss in US IPO history at the time. This shaky start raised questions about the company's profitability and long-term viability. Despite the rocky IPO, Khosrowshahi remained optimistic, focusing on Uber's vast market potential and its plan for future growth. He emphasized Uber's strategy to become a platform for all forms of transportation, not just ride-hailing. Today, Uber operates in over 900 metropolitan areas worldwide, offering a variety of services including ride-hailing, food delivery through Uber Eats, freight transportation, and even electric bike and scooter rentals via partnerships. However, profitability remains a challenge. While Uber has seen revenue growth, it continues to operate at a loss, investing heavily in new markets and technologies. The story of Uber offers numerous lessons for entrepreneurs. It demonstrates the power of disruptive innovation and the importance of addressing real consumer pain points. However, it also highlights the potential pitfalls of aggressive growth strategies that prioritize expansion over ethical considerations. The rise and challenges faced by Uber illustrate that long-term success is not just about market dominance, but also about building a company that can adapt, evolve, and maintain public trust. I'm Daniel, and I dive into the playbooks that built the world's greatest companies. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for more business insights. And remember, you can check out Blaze.ai for all your marketing needs. Bye.